How's it going, everybody? It's Carlos, your host of the Jets Fans Podcast. I'm joined here by Rios. How's it going, bud?
Let me start off by saying our boys in the Western Conference Finals. Hold it down,
That's
baby.
right. Houston Dynamo, baby. And of course, we got the show stranger. Poppy's in the house today. How's it going, Poppy?
It's going good, man. It's going good. Finally resting up, dude. A day off is well deserved, I would say.
Did you get a haircut?
No, my head grew bigger.
I got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You would
that
know
makes
all
more
about
sense.
that.
I wish
fucking
my
big
head
ass
would
head
grow
over
into
there.
my hair. So
Why are you gonna just go bald? Why
I don't know, dude. That's the only reason why I made this stupid bet. That's the only reason
I
why
told
made
you,
this bet.
shave your head.
I was
told you.
afraid. I was afraid that if I shaved my head like Rios said, instead of wearing these Rangers gear or whatever because of the bet, I feel like if I were to shave my head, my hair would have not had the intensity of growing back again. It would have just been like, you know what, screw it, it's gonna stay this way.
Yeah, no. Once you shave it, that thing is not growing back.
Yeah, I didn't want the Hulk Hogan haircut.
It's hanging on for dear life.
It really is hanging on by literally a thread. I just didn't want the Hulk Hogan haircut style going on me. So I'm not about to do all that. I'm still a little too young for that.
That's
Maybe
gonna be
2 years.
That's
Maybe
gonna
2
be
years.
you. That's gonna be you. Focus.
Good Lord. Yes, that's gonna be me. But no, I didn't want that to happen. But here we are now. Anyway, so just checking in. I got the crappy hat. I got the crappy beer cooler. There you go.
God, my eyes. Ay, Dios mío.
Covered up. There you go, Alan. This for you. Just counting down the days until I can legitimately throw this in.
How long is this going for?
Till January 1st.
January 1st.
Fuck.
I know it's a while.
I throw up in my mouth a little time. Every time I see that ugly thing, I throw up in my mouth a little bit. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's awful. Don't worry. I hate it also. All right. Nonetheless, boys, there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, I know Rios was getting really excited and getting used to victory Mondays for when we watch these Texans games. However, that wasn't the case. Could it have been Monday? It could have, but it wasn't.
It's Lamentation Monday.
Lamentation Monday. Lamentation Monday. Let's talk about it real quick. There were a lot of bright spots. CJ, no matter what, he's still shining, and this is just not a homer take. This is the fact that he scored 2 touchdowns. He went for 20. He was 26 of 36, 304 yards. He now holds the record, which Rios, you and I predicted he was going to break the record previously held by Justin Herbert of the most passing yards by a rookie quarterback in the history of the NFL, who was held by Justin Herbert. He broke that. All he needed was 236 yards, if I'm not mistaken. He ended up getting 300. 300. Yeah, it was like 236, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that.
No,
but he got
263.
263. Okay, there you go. My dyslexia kicked in. And so 300. He ended up beating it. He looked great. It didn't seem like last week's interceptions phased him whatsoever, that was my only concern, to be honest with you. I was like, how is he going to be able to handle it and all that? I felt like he handled it great. Yes, I felt like the O-line could have given him a little bit more help. I think this is perhaps the worst the O-line has played since perhaps the beginning of the season.
Oh, definitely.
Like non-existent.
Their
PF grades were all failing. Every single person.
Right.
Failing grade.
You know, and I know that Titus Howard went down, but even with Titus Howard, I felt like there wasn't much help. This was little, and there was the AWS.
Thompson he was getting beat like a drum.
He was. There was a lot of things. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of the blame by Texans fans was going, because even I was saying that at the moment, it was for the officiating as well. It was terrible officiating. It was like there is absolutely no doubt.
Understatement.
We know we can be a little bit biased because it was our team that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's been
it was all
said
around
in the media and everything. It's just like it's blatantly like you cannot hide the fact that the officiating was like subpar at best.
It was,
and we understand this as a division game. We understand this as a division rival. So like it was very physical.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the calls, dude.
some of the calls, one of the catches that really upsets me, and
Tank Dell
obviously
one that was
the
called that.
Tank Dell catch that was not called a catch. That was just as disappointing because you're the NFL. You're supposed to have top tier technology to figure these things out. I don't like it when they say, it's not enough or it's not sufficient evidence to overturn the call. You're the NFL. How is it that these pictures are coming out later on?
You made the rules, right? You wrote the rule book.
Yeah, you wrote the rule book, but yet you don't have the technology.
Both toes inside the boundary line.
Yeah.
What the fuck y'all looking at, man?
The thing that irks me most is, you'll hear from different fan bases saying, you can't blame the refs for it all. And I was like, well, at this point, you can make the argument that that a lot of those calls put us in a position where the momentum just completely shifted over to Jacksonville, because the Tank Dell one was a real. I feel like that call really set the tone. It changed the dynamic of it. I mean,
it was a 10-point swing after that.
Right, exactly, and and even the commentating was biased. Also, like I have not seen Matt Ryan. I hated the commentary with Matt Ryan at that particular game because they were talking about some officiating calls not go against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm like, have you not been watching the game? Like, what it was just. This is probably the worst officiated game I've ever seen in the NFL. Like, it was.
Even one of the players said that too. One of the reporters, he had commented, like, one of the Texas players said this is the worst officiating he's seen in his life.
Warren Sapp was all over that game, tweeting back and forth on how unfair and how badly and poorly managed that officiated the Texans and Jaguars game was. And it was something that I know a lot of the fans. Rios, you were there. How upset were the fans there?
Oh, it was bad. Like, I don't know if you could hear it on TV, but man, those boos were loud.
Yeah, you could, because even the announcers, as bad as they were talking about how loud the stadium was whenever the officials came out on the with a speaker and mentioned something. It was downright awful. JJ Watt has been very vocal about the type of the type of penalties that players are getting. And now I know what people might be thinking. Well, it's a defensive player. Of course, they're going to lean against all that. However, dude, like, if this wasn't the most apparent game where you saw a lot of just calls being like, they let them play ball. Like, I don't understand how a divisional rivalry game with so much on the line can be decided on just the officiating.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, the Texans. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying no. That's the crazy thing. The fact that it's a divisional game, honestly, could have been prime time. And it's just like there's so much on the line. These are two teams that, let's be honest, even as good as Jacksonville was last year, we have no expectations of these two teams, AFC South in general, to do anything come playoff time. There's no expectations. You already got your big hitters. You already got your Eagles, your Chiefs, your Dolphins, Baltimore, right? Like, these are the teams that have the most to gain out of these type of games.
Right.
The most to gain. Texans make the playoffs this year and make a good, decent run. Not saying not even a deep run, but like a good show. This changes the perspective of this Texas teams around the league,
right?
Like fan bases and all, like everything, the media, like this Texan team winning this game, winning this division, means that we get more primetime games next year,
right?
More of the league sees us, more fan bases across the nation will see the darling that is CJ Stroud, like how borderline elite he is, exactly, like so much at stake, so much on the line. Too bad that it went down to the refs. Again, it wasn't. I don't think it was the best game we've played.
No,
and I feel like because it was a division rival, and because you could argue, yes, we at this point, I would say we probably have the better quarterback, or at least the most informed quarterback out of those two.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville still has a better team.
He's better.
Yeah, no.
Jacksonville still has a better team. So it was like I was excited to coming into this game because I wanted to see like a real fight. Again, it came down to the refs. It came again to a field goal. Like every game that we've lost, like the last 3 games that we lost, 4 games that we lost, have come down to like a field goal, 1 possession games.
Yeah.
So it's like we could have easily walked away with a victory.
Yeah, if Amendola had made both of those field goals, it's a win.
And you saw that he got waived.
Yeah. Oh, he got waived. He's done.
Yeah,
I put out a tweet.
I felt so bad because like he was the hero just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, not so fast. He's on the practice squad, so we're not rid of him yet. He's still part of the team.
Yeah. What's so funny is that I posted a tweet immediately after that, and I said, if you got a Texans jersey on, put it on. On Monday, we got tryouts for if you can kick the ball around a little bit. And
I was there. I was ready.
He was ready. Rio showed up.
My time is come.
The two that he missed, how far away were they?
So the thing is, I didn't like. Yeah, 59.
50. I think it was.
It was 56.
One was 59. That one I could forgive him for.
So Amendola's longest is 49. Okay,
his career long.
He had previously missed one at 50. That same game. So this one was from, if I'm not mistaken, 56 yards out.
No, 58 yards.
58. So yeah, it was long. It was longer than what his all-time record was. I honestly, I don't know about you guys. Another reason why I feel like we lost this game. It's 4th and 2, right, Rios? I understand.
No, it was at the end of the game. It was 4th and 12.
4th and 12. Would you have trusted CJ?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I would have. I think that was a bad play call. I understand there was maybe 12 seconds left on the clock. I can't remember. It came down to a little bit.
The thing is,
it was about 29 seconds.
I don't agree with that. I feel like at 4th and 12, you have to go for the field goal. Because even if CJ gets the first down, with how horrible the O line was being through the whole game. I mean, at 4th and 12, they're blitzing the hell out of him, and he's probably getting sacked. So we don't even get a chance to score at that point. So I feel like you had to go for the field goal. I mean, 56 yards out, 59.
I mean,
that's very
messy. At this point, his career best is 49. Like, right. You put the ball in your best player's hand at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, but with only a few seconds left, like, yeah, you get the first down, but
there was 2.5 seconds. They could have got the first down, spiked it, got a little bit closer for easier field goal.
Like I said, though, the way the O-line had been playing that whole game, you cannot even guarantee that CJ was going to have enough time to even attempt the first down.
Maybe at time crunch, like, okay, do you remember a few games ago when CJ said they were sacking the mess out of CJ? CJ told the guys, hold me for a little bit, I'll make him pay. And he ended up getting
right. But this game, the O-line wasn't holding shit for shit.
It wasn't.
They couldn't stop a nosebleed.
It was like Swiss cheese, dude. Everything was getting through that.
Yeah.
And at 4th and 12, the Jacksonville, all they're doing is like blitz 7, blitz everybody, throw the kicker out there, fucking blitz his ass.
I mean, I don't know. I still would have gone for it. Rios, what do you think? Would you have gone for it if you were in Bobby Slowick's shoes? Would you have gone for it or kept it the same way they ended it?
No, I would have went for it. Because again, his career best is 49. He missed one from 50 earlier. Like, what makes you think he's gonna make it from even further?
That's what
that kind of
to the back with the game on the line.
You give him some, like, I don't know, Powerade or something. Well, a little bit of something, and then
I put back out the pillowcase and just like, all right, this is after you when you come back.
But there was a few situations where Bobby Slowick's play calling was very, very head scratching. Like earlier in the game, third and 1.
Yeah,
you see the yard, you throw it deep, incomplete.
Yeah, no,
you go for it on 4th down. Again, you need 1 yard. 1 yard.
Yeah.
36 inches. All you need. No, they toss it deep to the tight end.
That's what you put Davis Mills in and get the check down. That's
dude. Get Davis Mills in. Have him stick out his neck. Boom.
That's
right
it,
there.
Bro. That's a yard and a half. That's a yard and a half right there.
QB sneak right there. But like you could multiple things you could have done there. QB sneak, run it with Pierce, run it with Singletary, anybody.
I don't know about Pierce doing that one. No, I don't know about Pierce.
I think he could fall forward for it for 1 year. I think he can fall
Remember,
forward.
he can still take a hit, so he can get you 1 yard.
Well, that and them trying to force him into the game plan early on also was a momentum killer.
That's what was weird for me. They were forcing the hell out of it. I think CJ ended up being or leading rusher
for a good while.
That whole game. Like
49 yards rushing. That was our leading rusher for the day. That's bad.
Pierce was getting so many touches and nothing was like. Again, the O-line was basically non-existent. They weren't helping him at all. But he was not like he was given the opportunity in like probably the most important game of our year so far. And he just
I wouldn't have put him out there. I would have started with Singletary and just rode him.
Like after the first couple of like touches, I would have been like, okay, let's try something different because obviously the run game is not there.
But they kept trying to force it with Pierce, and it just wasn't working. And Jacksonville started putting up points, and that's what I think they realized. Okay, let's go back to Singletary.
Yeah, we were behind most of that game. Like it was just
that game we were big time behind. That I think that was what was upsetting is the fact that. Yes, the good thing is that it seems like you can adjust, but at the end of the day, you're adjusting at the point where it was a little too late.
Yeah, but again, there's flashes. There were flashes.
They were sleepwalking for most of that first half, man. Right. It was just like they were just going through the motions. There was nothing there, and then they turned it up in the second half, but still, it's like too little, too late.
And then you look at our defense as well. The defense was not.
They regressed big time,
dude, and like. It's so ridiculous because like some games they actually look like they could be solid again, like going back to last year, and then this game, dude, like I could have done as much fucking defending as fucking the whole secondary was doing. I could have just stood there and got a paycheck.
I had mentioned on a pregame show, like with Sunshine, basically it's gonna be a lot of short throws, a lot of intermediate throws, nothing deep. He didn't throw the ball deep at all. He
doesn't need that much time.
Yeah.
And like our defensive line was not getting to him at all.
Yeah.
And there was zero pressure on him, and all those throws were short, but it was yards after catch. It's bad angles on the tackles, bad tackling. It's like, bro, what are y'all doing, man? Like, it's not like they have they don't have all pro receivers, but they made Calvin Ridley look like Megatron out there. They just could not stop that guy.
To go back to Poppy's point really quick about the run, Devin Singletary only had 6 carries for 18 yards. That's it.
And most of those yards came on one long. I think he got like a first down run, but most of those yards came on that run.
Again, though, I think that goes into. I think that goes back to the offensive line just not being there. Like
O-line had a terrible game.
Yeah, they were not getting like giving the blocks to the runners. Like the only reason why CJ got so many yards is because everybody thought he was going to throw it deep, and then he just found the hole. But exactly, but like as far as the run game, because we're very predictable when it comes to the run game.
Yeah,
first down,
exactly, and then because it's a division rival, we play them all the time. They already seen the film on what we do, and Pierce hasn't been that hot this year, if at all. And the O-line was super depleted. So like it was like I said, after the first few carries, I would have been like, screw the run game. Let's just try to win this in the air, which I feel like we should have stuck with more. But CJ was just getting no protection at all. Yeah. So like, what was it? Like, I think like Trevor Lawrence had like 250 and CJ was only like at 120 at some point.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous, dude. How much like you said, Rios, like Trevor wasn't even throwing it deep. He was just like getting check down after check down.
Yeah.
Just getting the yards, and CJ like just didn't have time to do anything really.
No.
Hey, he was running for his life, and 2 very long, like that 60-yarder that hit Tank Dell that was taken away. Like, bro, like, come on. He would have easily had 500 yards passing if they didn't get screwed by the refs.
But where does this put us now? We are 6.
So we're 6-5. We're right outside the wild card. Just because Indy has the game over us, so that's why they're ahead of us. But we still have, according to the odds, we still have a 57% chance of making the playoffs. So we can still make the playoffs, but the division's pretty much gone at this point.
You have to beat Denver.
Which, by the way, Mr. Unlimited out here What happened to the Denver Broncos, brother?
Yeah.
What are they doing over there? Mm-hmm. Somebody check their water or something, because we were talking in the AFC South roundtable a couple of weeks ago. We were just talking about how we believe that the Denver Broncos were going to be spoilers for some teams. Mm-hmm. Right now, they look like as much as a contender as anybody else, as far as making the playoffs goes. So, like, what do we think about that, dude? Like, you say that we got to beat Denver. Hell, half the league hasn't been able to beat them.
Yeah.
What the hell are we supposed to do?
They're on a pretty good. They got a pretty good run going on right now.
Yeah.
They won the last 5 or whatever. Yeah, they were on a 5-win streak. Like, that's the best across the league, I believe. Well, except for the Eagles, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. But going back to Trevor Lawrence, dude. Trevor Lawrence put 364 yards on the Texans. 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
That's the thing, though. It was mostly checkdowns, and the defense was not helping the case at all.
I mentioned it was going to be up to the linebackers to contain those intermediate throws, and there was zero protection at all. Yeah. They just could not stop anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Ingram had a game. Ridley had a game. The running backs had a game. Like, it was just bad all across in that back 7.
Yeah.
And the front 4, there was zero pressures on Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I had time to read a book, take a nap. He probably could have walked and could have walked to the sideline, got a hot dog or something, came back and still throw a first down. It was
and when you look at the stats, some of the, I mean, it came close to it. I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars total yards, including the run, they scored 40. They put 445 yards on the Texans, while the Texans put 352 yards on Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, and all that was CJ.
Yeah, and a lot of it was all of it was CJ. How do you call it? That's the thing. Jacksonville had 22 first downs as opposed to the Texans only had 19. Time of possession, Jacksonville won that one with 33 minutes and 54 seconds.
Oh, that was on the refs. That was mostly on the refs. That time of possession, because they kept throwing flags to bail. I'm like, bro, you can't be serious.
That's the thing though.
So at the game, like, a lot of the fans were pointing out the calls they were missing on the Jaguars, like the holding, the pass interference. Mm-hmm. We're like, where's the flag for that?
False start. I hate
it was across the stadium. It wasn't just our section. It was across the stadium. You could see people pointing that shit out.
Yeah. No, it was awful. The officiating, I hate, and I'm not a guy that usually likes to blame that blames it. But at this point, when it's this apparent, where a guy like me can see that, come on, y'all. Like, it was just.
This reminds me of.
What's that?
Well, you probably won't know Carlos, but Poppy will.
Yeah.
2018, Game 7 against the Warriors. The Scott Foster game.
Dude.
That's what it felt like. Man. That's what this game felt like.
At that point, don't even show up to the game. It's already been bought.
That should have been the Western Conference Finals MVP, Scott Foster.
We honestly, Scott Foster. In the news again. I don't know if you've seen the Chris Paul stuff, but
I did.
we should have been champions that year. Everybody talks about how the James Harden experiment didn't work, and to an extent, I agree with that. But nobody would be saying that if we would have gone ahead and played Cleveland that year.
That would have been a sweep.
That would have been a sweep, dude. James Harden was like on a tear that year.
And that was the one time James Harden, he showed up in the playoffs for once. That was the one time he showed up. But you can't beat Scott Foster. That man's undefeated. When NBA needs their team to win, they set out Scott Foster every single time. And that's what this felt like. Because the guy that actually I sent this to you guys in the group chat.
Yeah.
What's his name? Here it is. Clay Martin leads the league in calling defensive pass interference for the last 5 years. Jacksonville's -- 1 team at drawing pass interference penalties. Like, it was just a recipe for disaster. That's what they had him out there, because the league wants they wanted the Jaguars to win this game.
Why though? That's the thing that's not making sense, because I see a lot of the discord on Twitter or X or whatever. It's like, oh, the NFL just wanted Jacksonville, the golden child, to win. Why Jacksonville? Trevor Lawrence isn't even like a top 10 quarterback conversation, I would say.
They're trying to push. It's about storylines. They're trying to, they want him up there with the Herberts and the Josh Allens and all that. But yeah,
they both suck this year. They're both not winning shit.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah. So you think it's a narrative, Rios? You think it's a narrative?
I think it's a narrative. Yeah. Honestly, sports is really turning into wrestling. It's just storylines.
Hey, CM Punk, baby. No,
I feel like the good storyline this week would have been the Bills beating the Eagles. That game was crazy.
Dude, that would have been crazy. That game was also had the same issues as we did. The ref calls back and forth. Like,
bro, Josh Allen got tossed to the ground like a rag doll.
Dude,
intentional grounding. I'm like,
and that man just shook it off too. I would have played it off.
His jersey was ripped. Like, how was that intentional grounding? This man got a horse collar tackled.
Dude, we had a lot of that too with Trevor Thomas. Also, there was like, don't get me wrong, there were some calls that Trevor Thomas. I was like, come on, bro, you can't do that. But there were a few that were apparent that Trevor Thomas just, like, you were calling it. The way they were calling is that any little instance, Texans breathe, flag on the play. Like, Texans look at the ref, flag on the play. They had more flags in that game than the UN, dude. It was that bad. Like, there was, it was raining flags that game against the Texans.
It was hard to watch in person. I can't imagine it was like, watching at home. It was.
My dogs were scared.
It was.
At home, it was worse because then we just got commercials.
Yeah, over there is for you guys because then you got to buy a bunch of expensive stuff in the stadium.
Yeah, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, I was stone cold.
After when you look at your debit card, like, oh, who did
the American dream?
The American dream.
Who did this? Who spent all this money? Oh, it was me.
Spent all this money on Miller Lite or whatever. Oh gosh!
Call him back. That wasn't me.
That wasn't
Please
me.
Please cancel these transactions.
Sir, this is a Wendy's? No. No, yeah, dude. Sorry.
Right now we live in a world where the Broncos could make the playoffs and we don't. That's crazy.
You know what's that going to cause? It's going to cause AWS to make more primetime games for the Broncos next season.
Yeah, because we need more of that.
Because we need more.
To be fair, because I had written Russell Wilson off already.
Mm-hmm.
They've been looking pretty good. Like not pretty good where you're like, oh damn, they're actually playing good football. Like, it's fun football. They're actually getting wins, and they're beating teams that they have no business competing against.
They're winning, but it's ugly wins though. It's not a good product to watch. They're winning. No, don't get me wrong. Winning is great, but the way they're winning is just ugly. It's just.
But it's like if anything, that's the storyline for this season.
Yeah,
it's not prime time
because the last year was so bad, and they started the year pretty bad. I think they were 1-3, starting off the year, and then they just gone crazy, dude. They're 6-5 right now. Same record as
we. Same record as we do.
Well, they're second in their division. We're third right now.
Yeah, because of the Colts.
The fucking shitty ass Colts.
But even then, what's like a good thing in this game against the Broncos, that at least you won't have Kareem Jackson trying to take off CJ's head. He's suspended for these games. See, it was Do you remember? Dang, I just realized Kareem Jackson's been playing the league for a long time.
Since 09.
Yeah, since 09. Like, and he's still there. Remember when we faced the Texans faced off against the Broncos and they had Deshaun Watson and he was going all out and he got busted for PEDs at the end, like towards the end of that season or whatever.
Oh yeah, and it was a bunch of guys that got busted for PEDs that year.
Yeah.
It was him, Will Fuller. Who else was it? There was another guy in the Broncos also.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Will Fuller. Gosh, I have his jersey.
I was about to say Texas legend.
Legend Will Fuller, yeah. No,
man with hamstrings made of glass.
Man's hammies, yeah. No, yeah, man. But at the same time, the Texans, they didn't do themselves any favors this weekend as well.
They didn't. It was like we didn't play great, and we also got kind of screwed. But it was a
mixture of all of that, really. It was a mixture of all of that.
It was officiating and the offensive play calling, and then just the
O-line non-existent.
The thing about it though is like, dude, we're 6-5. Like, I'm still like super happy about this season.
Yeah.
Even if we do not make the playoffs, because now I'm very hopeful that we can. But even if we don't, dude.
Remember, this was a rebuild year.
Yeah, and next year we're gonna be so much decent.
It's better.
Hopefully, like all the rookies, have bought into the system, and hopefully Pierce can find his form again, and D'Amico's gonna have one more year of experience as a head coach. So
yeah,
we're looking up, dude. Like,
speaking of that, so there was this one play where one of the Jaguars players caught it, and you saw it hit the ground. I was like, remember, like, throw the flag. He didn't do it. Like they showed it on the jumbotron. You could see the ball hit the turf. Like
we don't have enough evidence to
overturn it.
Overturn the call.
And this was earlier.
Yeah. My favorite one was when that offensive line player for the Jacksonville, I think it was 72 or 77, I can't remember, did the false start, the apparent false start. They didn't call it. And then I love how the one of the announcers was trying to play it. I was like, oh, it's because in real time it doesn't look that way. I'm like, y'all, Laramie Tunsil does that all the time. Like, and he gets flag. Y'all, come on. Like, who are we trying to fool here? Like,
some people be just blinking and they're like, flag, false flag.
Yeah. Another one.
Yeah, but
that horrendous
Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker, but they were beating the offensive line like a drum, man. It was they could not. They made those guys look like Lawrence Taylor.
That horrendous call on Tank Dell where illegal shift.
He was the only one moving.
It was the only one moving, and apparently it was illegal shift or something like that, or more than two players. I can't remember what the official call was, but when you look back at it, he was the only player moving.
That's also a stupid rule.
Like
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a super rule, but still, like, he didn't break it because he was the only person. If it was someone else on the line moving, yeah, but no, they said he was. If you look at the replay, and one of the broadcasters broke it down. Also, like, if you look closely, the only person moving pre-snap is Tank Dell, which he can do because.
Do you guys know who the only team in the NFL is undefeated away from home? Do you guys know what team is?
Is it Jaguars?
It's Jacksonville.
Wow.
They're 5-0 away from home.
Of course. And who officiates most of their games? A certain Clay Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Interesting.
So, all right,
just throwing it out there, NFL.
Check this
out. I mean anything by it.
Okay, this is.
I got to copy the script.
This is the play I was talking about.
The legal shift. Though those units go hard though.
Yeah.
The all reds are like I'm a really big fan of them.
Okay, who's moving? Do you see anybody else besides Tank Dell moving?
No, just a number 3 guy. That's the only person.
No. Nobody move. Nobody move.
That's it.
Because at this point, the ball's already snapped, so it's whatever.
Yeah. So they said it was illegal. Yeah. I see.
But not just that. Look when they throw the flag. 20 seconds after the play happened. CJ goes through his motions, they throws the ball, catches,
play, by the way.
Everything, and then flag. I'm like, how do you throw that?
They just wanted to see like if he was gonna catch or not, bro. And that was a solid ass catch, bro. Like, how do you call that shit back?
Look. Tank Dell moving. Only person moving. Tank Dell.
Yeah, I have no idea, dude.
Yeah.
Be better, NFL.
And like I said, that was a 10-point swing because Jacksonville scores the next drive.
Yeah.
We, go 3 and out. They score. It's 10-0.
Dude,
and it stays that way until halftime, basically.
Being 7-4, like, would do us a lot of favors.
Well, basically, it would be a 70% chance of making the playoffs. It would be 70% chance of getting to the playoffs, and like 50 winning the division.
Because we would have been tied with Jacksonville at that point.
Right.
So, I don't know.
And we'd have the tiebreaker because we
would have beaten them both times, right?
Yep.
No, did we beat them the first time? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So we would be top of the division, and somehow we're now third.
Yeah.
Next to
this game honestly was a must win, and they shit the bed. Like, regardless of the officiating, they still had a chance to win it. It's just that the secondary, man, they regressed badly. Like, last year they were a top 10 unit. This year they're number 24. Like,
by the way, that video that I showed y'all, it was called a flag on us, but Miami does this all the time with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, every other play, basically.
Every other play, man, he does it.
He's always in motion. He's always in motion. That's why he's always, besides being
always
super
fucking
fast,
open.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There was a lot of questionable things. Here's another one for you. 1 second. That holding
Broncos,
call.
we got the Jets, we got the Titans, we got the Browns.
All right.
Like, we have some pretty winnable. We have some winnable games, but
this was one of them, though. This was one of them. That's the shame of it.
Okay, here we go. Okay, you ready?
I love how that didn't make it any bigger, bro. Bro, do you see how he grabbed him? Damn.
Hold on. Holding.
Bro, he almost took him home with him.
Illegal shift, yes, it's pre-snap penalty, but why not call it 20 seconds after? Why call it 20 seconds after the play?
Exactly.
You told that flag. There's a lot of stuff that I was seeing.
Look at that. That's the one I was talking about, the false start. Look at that.
Yeah, motherfucker is like.
See that?
Halfway to the locker room.
False start, not a call. The catch.
Yeah.
That catch is like the craziest thing, though.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck do you not have enough evidence to overturn the fucking call?
Well, what more do you need? Like, seriously, like, he both feet in bounds. They just say, he didn't have control of the ball. The ball's in his hands. He goes out of bounds. It's still in his hands.
It's not like it's a one-handed catch either. Like, he's got both hands on the ball.
Even Tank Dell posted it on his Instagram story. Like, this was a catch. Like,
yeah. By the way,
both feet in bounds, control the ball. Like,
did y'all see that Tank Dell saw our story whenever I posted on it? I sent it to you.
He did?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he saw our post whenever I reposted. I was like, don't worry. I was like, don't worry, Tank. We know it was a catch or whatever. And he was one of those that saw it too. So I was like, oh, all right.
Retweet it next time.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that was insane, man. It was just a horrible call overall.
Let's just put that game behind us.
Yeah. Oh, look,
you can do this one.
He just saw it again. Tank Dell. I posted this. I was like, glad to meet Tank Dell, whatever. And then if you look at whoever sees your story, he just saw it. Hold on. Let me see if it scrolls down. Okay. Where is it? Right. Flash 1X.
I love the fucking arthritis. Like,
yeah.
Oh man. But like I said,
shout out to boy Tank.
We got
shout out to Tank Dell.
We got the shout out to Tank. Denver Broncos next week. How do we feel about it?
If Jacksonville wasn't a must-win, this has to be a must-win. Like, you can't lose this game.
If we want to make the playoffs, every game moving forward is basically a must-win.
So someone broke it down the scenarios. We can lose 2 games max, which would put us at 10-7.
It might have been VT who did it, actually. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, we can lose 2 games max and still we'll be a wild card, but we can get into 10-7, which is the record I predict us to be at anyway.
Okay, and what games are you losing? Like, are you listening to the Browns and are you listening to the Jets?
Basically, we can't lose any divisional games.
Yeah, we can't lose against the Titans. We got them twice.
We can't lose against the Colts. That one game in Indy is going to be a must-win, but Indy's pretty bad at home. So
yeah,
they're
all right.
End of the season, basically. Like,
so our last game of the year. Our last game of the year is going to be a fun one because there's going to be
that's going to be playoff implications for that game.
Yeah.
I found the tweet he posted. I'm going to share it because I want to make sure he gets the credit for it. Posted the Texans now have a 46% chance to make the playoffs. The Texans can lose to the Browns and 1 game to the Titans and still have a 79% chance to make the playoffs. Texans lose to the Broncos and Browns. We have a 54% chance to make the playoffs. If we lose to the Browns, Titans, and Jets, it's over, 28% chance. If we lose to the Colts, Browns, and Jets, it's over with a 7% chance. So I trust this man. He's a pretty smart guy.
I mean, I'm not good at math, so I don't know. So
the math, but yeah, like I said, 2 games max is what we lose. We just won 2 games, it's over.
Yeah.
But we can't lose to the Colts. That's the one game we cannot lose because if we have the same record, they'll get in because of the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Right.
I wonder how Dallas feels.
He should be fine. He's recovering, right?
Not about that, fool. About the game.
No, exactly. But at the same time,
well, he probably has those good pills for the shoulder injury. That boy is in La La Land right now.
Dallas, our buddy Dallas, who's part of
the man with the most luxurious hair we know.
Oh, I thought it was me.
No, you don't have hair
for that, bro. You gotta have hair for that.
Yeah, exactly.
That man put
you gotta buy
Palomalo to shame.
Right? You got a projector for a forehead.
Deal.
That your hairline like it starts like back.
Hey,
here.
whenever we start watching game replays, we could just put them on.
My God, did the hair go back further,
bro? Put that thing back on, bro. Look at that. It's like it's afraid of your face, bro.
It's backing away.
It's running away.
Sheds.
I'm gonna call you LeBron from now.
LeBron
James.
Yeah. But no,
LeBron James.
All right, really quick. Let's step out of the Texans for a little bit. Let's talk a little Astros. If you heard, the Bregman has been trending on Twitter. Do you guys see the Astros re-signing Bregman after next season? Because it does at this moment. A lot of reports are saying basically no, that he doesn't come back. But be honest with you, he's great defensively. Offensively, he has his moments. But are you willing to risk a solid third baseman? Yes, he's getting up there in the years.
Yeah,
he's going to be 30 if I'm not mistaken. So how much more do you have left, with him? And I off the top of my head don't know of any third baseman coming up in the how do you call it, the minors for the Astros or the farm system. So they're probably, if they want to keep that solid third base defense that Alex Bregman brings in, now you have to see what you can do. But at the same time, Bregman offers you a little bit of offense when needed. He wasn't too bad during the postseason. So, but that solid defense, it's consistent. The offense is, here and there lackluster, but at least that defense on third base is very consistent. And so, what do you do? Would you now? My main question here is this: would you guys? There's no way they can sign Bregman and Kyle Tucker,
right?
So at this point, would you rather sign Alex Bregman, extend him, and give up Kyle Tucker, or would you keep Kyle Tucker on your team, sign him for a pretty decent deal or whatever, but you're going to lose Bregman? Which one of those would you choose?
Rios. Here's the thing.
Oh, okay, go
ahead. Sorry. Here's the thing. Logically speaking.
Yeah.
And if we're being realistic about it, this is the twilight of this core of the core of this team.
Yes, correct.
Right? Altuve's up there in age. Bregman's up there in age. Verlander, we don't know what kind of Verlander we're going to get next year.
Right.
The way the pitching was this year altogether, we don't know what that's going to look like next year. Mm-hmm. So I honestly cannot see us with this same core of players 3, 4, 5 years from now.
Correct.
So you got to try to see what you can do, right? Like, if you're going for it one last time next year, you sign Kyle Tucker and you let Bregman walk. If you're thinking about maybe next year is not the year, let's try to use next year's to like reload rather than go for it one more time. Mm-hmm. Do you trade Bregman? Do you make some moves in the offseason, like send them to a contender that may want to try to re-sign them, make that hit like their problem now, and try to get like some young pieces in, still sign Kyle Tucker? Or unless the money is good, unless the contract is team friendly, maybe you try to extend him. But realistically speaking, Kyle Tucker, as inconsistent as he was in this last postseason, he was still probably one of our best players during the regular season. So you have to lock that man down. Okay. You have to. Especially since we gave like that young right fielder that we had coming up through the farm, we send them
for Verlander, right?
For the Verlander.
Yeah, Verlander.
So like you don't have another like outfielder that's like turning heads in the farm system right now. So, and Kyle Tucker is still quite young. So like you lock him down right now. Realistically speaking, what this new like head coach and the organization or whatever they're trying to do, I'm not too sure.
And also, you got to understand that scouting has been a big strength for the Astros. Well, now one of our main scouters just got signed by the Mets.
Yeah.
So it
great
seems
acquisition by them. I feel like the Mets are making the move.
Right. Yeah, they're making the
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and so now I feel like where our strength lied, where our strength was more apparent for the Astros with the scouting, with the coaching, the consistency on third base, on defense, and stuff like that. I feel like now it's to your point, Poppy, is that now 5 years down the road, this team is not going to look the same.
Not
at all. And so,
and if it is, it's not going to be a good team.
If it is, it's not going to be a good team. Yes. Yeah. So at that point, yeah, you have to make these moves. But at that point, it's like how much, because there's so many other things that, like I said, the scouting. Now so maybe third base or maybe right field, whichever way they decide to go. But even with those things, you also got to worry about we need people that can be consistent in the offense, but at the same time, you also need a starting pitcher. Because Fromber this season didn't turn out to be the Fromber we expected, like we've said many times.
Doesn't mean that he can't turn it around, but it didn't look promising at all.
They did not. Yeah. It's almost like, how are we going to go back to what we were in 2022 as a pitching squad? You said it yourself. Verlander, we don't know, because his age is up and coming. We don't know what type of Verlander we're going to get. Can he make it through a whole season with it coming up?
Remember this last season, when he was on the Mets, he was awful.
Mm-hmm.
He was awful. The only reason we brought it back is because the money was good, because the Mets were taking a chunk of that salary. Otherwise, we wouldn't have brought him in. Even when he was here, he was good, but he wasn't 2022 Verlander. He wasn't Cy Young winner Verlander.
Mm-hmm.
And
then also like. Right. No, exactly. And then Jeremy Pena, how are we going to do? Is he going to learn from his sophomore slump, or are we going to
take a step up? Needs to take a step
up. Yeah. I mean, logically, I would tell you, right? Let's take a step up. But, a guy that you can't afford to lose also, Mauricio Dubon. Like Mauricio Dubon.
He's such a,
he's
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. You can use him.
He's Marwin Gonzalez, our utility player. You can put him anywhere.
You can legitimately put him in center field.
Can he play field, left field?
Yeah.
Second base.
You can put him all in the outfield and most of the infield.
Hell,
he was playing second base, right? He was playing second base for Altuve.
He played second base beginning of the year. He played shortstop a couple of times. We know he played center field every time Verlander was pitching.
Well, then you also got Kessinger playing that could play shortstop as well. You saw that stop, that big stop he made.
I want to keep seeing though.
Yeah.
Let me be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had that one stop, but I ain't trying to get a bunch of balls thrown at him throughout the year, because I don't know how consistent that can be. But
right
to your point, Mauricio Dubon is one of those guys that we can't let walk, but. He's one of those guys that a lot of teams are gonna want, because he's not gonna get paid a lot of money, and you can play him pretty much anywhere.
Mm-hmm. There's also been rumors out there that Jake Myers is on the trading block as well.
He should be.
That's fine. That's fine.
And that's fine.
You can get some nice pieces for him. I think going back to your original point about Bregman, I think with him, you try to negotiate during the season, and if you can't come to an agreement, I would move him at the deadline. So you don't let him walk for free. You get something back.
That's what I'm thinking. Unless you try to go full win now, next year.
As you should, because our window is still open. Regardless of people on social media thing, our window is still open.
I feel like if you're gonna trade Bregman, you're not going to win now. Because what are you gonna if you trade Bregman, it's gonna be for young pieces. You're not gonna get somebody offensively consistent and defensively consistent as he is.
Okay. If you got Bregman, you're going to need an impact player in return. I don't think they're going to trade him for prospects. They're going to need at least one impact player.
What team is going to take on a 30-year-old Bregman or whatever and give you an impact player at third base?
I could see a prospect. I could see prospect. No, what's funny is that coincidentally, there was a small little report that now the thing is this. I don't know if it's real or not, but it was coming up on social media that the Yankees were interested. Whether it's true or not, what was funny about that is the comments. Apparently, suddenly the Yankees fans that call us cheaters, suddenly they were very welcoming to Alex Bregman. I'm like,
the Yankees being fucking hypocrites? Nah.
Yeah, what?
Nah.
Never. No, I was like,
be still my heart. Not the Yankees.
What makes you laugh is
not
that
the Yankees. They would never.
Yeah,
they could never.
The pinnacle of integrity. Right. The pinnacle of integrity.
So what was funny is
the
that
27 ring Yankees?
What?
All super legitimate? Nah.
No way. Their team could never. No. It proved my point that I had brought up, a few times on the show that, the MLB fans are hypocritical to the point where they'll talk about Astros players.
Sports fans are,
but not sports fans are. But to me, like MLB fans in general, like
with their fake moral outrage. But then when you got the Blue Jays that has Springer.
See,
you got the Minnesota Twins that have Correa.
I would say probably NBA fans are the worst because of the turnaround that they're like that every team faces. Like there's so many journeymen in the NBA that play for like 14 teams by the time they hang up their shoes. It's like you hate them next season. I mean, this season, and next season that motherfucker is gonna be by the deadline. That motherfucker is gonna be in your lineup.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, do you remember when Kelly Olynyk was here, and he was like the star of the Rockets, basically? And like we just let him walk. I think we let him walk to the Celtics, I guess. Oh, I forgot where he went.
I forgot where he went. Yeah, I mean, those were dark days when Kelly Olynyk is the starter.
I had never been like Kelly Olynyk was never on my radar at all. Like super irrelevant. And then he was here, and he was like my favorite player because he was like the only person making things happen. And then one season later, he leaves. It's just like, okay, out of the radar again.
Well, I mean, this is a little bit different because, like, these guys, boo us every stadium we go to. But when our players on the team, he wasn't
because the Yankees haven't been good for the last 10 years. That's why
they had Marwin. Marwin was the main.
Come on, you had Carlos Beltran, part of your Yes network, after the whole scandal.
After the fact,
fucking Altuve could walk into that lineup, be a starter, and they would fucking praise his ass.
That's the thing. MLB fans will say this to your point, Poppy. MLB fans will boo Altuve no matter which stadium he goes to, but let him walk into your team and be a part of your team. I bet you he gets praised. I guarantee it.
That's a statue. That's how
hypocritical a lot of MLB fans are.
He's a mini Babe Ruth to them at that point.
Hey, do you think if they do a statue of Altuve, do you think they're gonna do it life size? Or do you think
they have to? They have to do it life size.
They like play it off like
let's pull up a few steps, a few feet like higher or whatever.
They make him Aaron Judge's height.
Yeah,
I mean that's how you put. That's how you put.
I want to do like Mark McGwire. Aaron Judge next to him.
Look, if we do not build Altuve statue where he looks like Mark McGwire, I don't want it. Life size. Yeah,
give him the shoulders too. Give him the
Adolis Garcia shoulders.
Yeah,
like right here.
Right.
No neck.
No neck, just shoulders. Brock Lesnar handle. If I don't see Altuve looking like Brock
Lesnar has like 2 sets of shoulders.
His shoulders have biceps. Like that's how
he hasn't been able to turn his neck in years.
Yeah, he has to turn the whole body just to look backwards. Yeah, Brock.
No, it looks like he's in a spinning chair the whole time.
Exactly.
He's like Batman from the original Batman movies in the 80s. Couldn't turn his neck at all.
With a cowl, he couldn't turn it. Yeah,
he had to go. Whoop.
I love how everybody's catching strays now.
Yeah, everybody.
Right. But if they build a statue, I want them to Shawn Michaels pose.
Shawn Michaels pose.
Oh man,
that'd be hilarious. But no, man. Back to that point. So going back to my original question, Bobby, what about you? Would you trade Bregman or would you keep Kyle?
Depends how the season is. If we're looking pretty good, if the pitching is clicking, the rotation is clicking, the offense is clicking for the most part, because everybody's going to go through a slump. What you don't want is like Jordan being in the IL, Tucker being in a slump, Altuve being in a slump, Bregman being in a slump. You don't want that, obviously. If we're like dominating the division, and this year the division is going to be a little bit tougher than it was last year. If everything goes right, I almost rather let him walk in free agency, but try to go for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
If things are not clicking, I would say, okay, we'll just scratch this year off. Let's trade him for some prospects and try again next year.
Yeah.
Rather than extend him. I feel like extend him should only be the case if you can make the money work with him and Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker would be the priority for me.
Same.
And then if you can make the money work afterwards with him, because he loves the city. I feel like he would want to stay here. And the fans want him to stay here.
Right.
But just like we've seen in the past, just like we saw with Correa, just like we saw with Springer, with Garrett Cole, like
it all comes down
even with Verlander, when you're asking for that much money, the Astros are not going to pay. As much as me as a fan, spend all the money. Like take all my tax money and just pay the man. As much as I
raise the ticket prices.
Yeah.
I'll pay it. We'll be there.
Just don't raise.
Build the park.
It's already expensive as fuck. As long as what was I gonna fucking say? As long as we're going for it, and as long as the money works, then do that. If not, just let him walk or trade him.
Okay. Rios?
Like Poppy said, if the money makes sense, I would do it. I could see him taking a discount. I know this is reports saying, they expect him to leave. I could see him, because like you said, he loves the city. The fans love him. I could see him taking a discount to stay on a team that's built to win multiple World Series.
Yeah, but like I said, though, we've seen that with Correa and Garrett Cole and Springer.
Yeah.
They all left for the bag. Verlander, too. They all left for the bag. Understandably so.
I'll say Bregman got paid early on. Like, he got a 5-year deal. So Correa, he hadn't gotten that bag yet. Bregman's gotten that bag already. I can see him taking a discount and, staying on a contender.
We'll see.
That's one route. I mean, Verlander's Verlander. Verlander's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to go where the money takes him because he's already cemented his legacy as,
He'll retire as an Astro. I think that's the thing that we take it. He's going to retire as an Astro.
At this point, yeah, he's won 2 Cy Youngs here, 2 World Series
next year.
I think he signed to 2026, if I'm not mistaken, or 2025.
But that doesn't matter. They can retire whenever.
I think with him, once his contract expires, he's going to walk out on top.
Do you think he's going to be started for the rest of that contract?
I think his contract has something to do with that.
Next year, yes. The year after, we'll see how he does.
I think he goes to the bullpen afterwards.
Yeah,
that's where McCullough should go. Honestly,
that's another guy.
McCullers is long reliever. I feel like we should trade his ass.
Dude, McCullers is taking, I think, $17 million next season.
Exactly. I feel like we should trade his ass.
That's already
get some prospects.
But who's going to trade for him though?
There's a lot of teams that would take a shot on a pitcher, on a promising pitcher, if healthy. Because when he's healthy,
on that contract though,
he's hot. When he's healthy, he kills out there.
I think at this point in his career, he should move to the bullpen because it's less strain on his arm. It's going to keep him healthy longer.
$17 million? You're going to put his ass in the bullpen?
The bullpen player for $17 million?
That's like the entire bullpen, just his salary.
Because he's shown he can't stay healthy. He can't be your third or fourth starter.
That's what I would say. Just trade him. If he wants to be in the bullpen in the fucking Padres organization, fucking do it. If you want to be in the bullpen in the Angels, go for it. But here, dude, like $17 million a year, you have to play. Mm-hmm. You have to be available.
Or you can make him like a long reliever. If you don't put him in the bullpen, make him a long reliever.
Yeah,
I don't see him starting here.
$17 million, dude.
Yeah, that's starting money right there.
Yeah, like if you better play at least 5 innings consistently.
Yeah.
For $17 million.
Yeah.
Well, that money's from his previous performance. It was based on future return on investment. That's all.
His previous performance was like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like longer. Honestly.
No, when he signed the contract, it was for what he did previously. That's what I'm trying to say, basically.
No.
Now that return on investment, you're not going to get that return on investment at this point.
No.
Exactly. So that's what you try to fucking trade his ass, because there's teams out there that we know are not afraid to spend money. You already know the Yankees will throw money at anything. You already know the Mets will. With Ohtani leaving, the Angels are going to be like looking to rebuild. with Trout living as well. The Padres, they threw all this money at Soto. He's probably going to leave. Like, there's teams out there who are willing to spend money that the Astros are not.
Yeah.
So can you get something for him? You can. Are you going to get like a haul for him? No. The guy can't stay healthy. But he's still a really promising pitcher. Borderline elite numbers when he's healthy and consistent. You can get something out of him. You put him in a package with, I don't know, Jake Myers. Try to get something out of him. At the very least.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Send him to the Padres for Juan Soto.
Shit. Shit. How much is he making a fucking year? Probably like 40 million or some bullshit.
Yeah. Nah, man. So that's what I want to talk about on the Astros. I mean, other than that, that's things that we have to look forward to. Some big decisions that are going to be being made during this offseason.
Do you think new head coach and everything, those were big news a couple of weeks ago, but is there like a big move like during the offseason, or this team that we have right now, that's the team that is going to be on the field starting next year?
I don't see a big move coming this season. I think if anything, they might go after maybe Dylan Cease again, try to go another run again for Dylan Cease. Other than that, I don't honestly, and I wish that, and I don't think they'll go for. They're a team that's going to go and get Ohtani. Like, you would have to almost trade the farm for that. But we know that he's not gonna. That our owner's not gonna make a big spend this summer. It's not. Or during this offseason.
I will argue that because I can see him doing it because your in-state rival just beat you in the ALCS and won a World Series. Because why? They spent money in free agency.
Right. They spent that money to beat you.
They spent the money.
Mm-hmm.
So your team, as currently constructed, couldn't beat these guys. You had to win 2 games at home. You couldn't beat them at home.
Good enough beat those
so
guys.
At this point, pride needs to take over. You know what? Fuck it. Let me pay the luxury tax. You know, I can't let my in-state rivals. I can't let my in-state rivals have one up on me. No,
yeah, but when pride takes over and you whiff, that's when you're stuck on a rebuild for fucking 10 years. Just look at look at the Yankees. Like, they threw money at people.
Yeah.
Look at the Mets. When's the last time the Mets were relevant other than the times when they hand out $40 million fucking dollar contracts to people who don't perform?
They're paying about $50 million for 2 players not to be on their team. Verlander and Max Scherzer.
Verlander and Scherzer both made it to the ALCS, and the Mets.
Yeah.
The Mets didn't even make the fucking playoffs.
When it works, it works. Look at the Rangers. Like, they won it this year, and they're going to have pretty much the same roster next year.
Yeah, no, the Rangers is going to be tough. But I think they struck lightning in a bottle. I don't think lightning's going to struck twice. I think it's going to be different next year. I think it's still going to be competitive, but I feel like I hope that the Astros take this offseason as a wake-up call.
I agree.
And it's like, Javier, Framber,
everybody needs to look at
they need to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, all right, last year, okay, we won the year before. This season was a couple of hiccups, health issues, slumps, whatever you want to call it. This year we go for it one more time with this score.
Well, look, in the postseason, the team was pretty much healthy.
Yeah, but exactly. No, it was health issues and then fucking inconsistency.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like during the regular season, it was just health issues and inconsistencies. During the postseason, it was like Kyle Tucker not being able to hit a fucking beach ball with a tennis racket.
Yeah.
Like, the only people who were carrying were like Altuve, Jordan, and Abreu.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Because Abreu was getting home runs like crazy. But like, nobody was on base every fucking time,
Yeah.
Dusty making the weird calls, fucking not pulling what's the fucking catcher's name?
Maldi.
Diaz.
Oh, not putting Maldi Diaz in for Maldi, yeah.
Yeah, because Maldi like couldn't hit a fucking meteor with a fucking rocket.
And when he did, it was like it was nobody on base.
Exactly.
We could hit and get a few runs here and there, but nobody happened to be on base.
Yeah, the reason why the Rangers beat us is because every time they hit a home run, they had like 1 or 2 people on base.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that we need to figure out this offseason.
Like I said, they need a starting pitcher. You need another bat to replace Uncle Mike, and
Uncle Mike was solid for not playing for like 2 years.
Yeah, but he's not coming back, so you need another. You have a hole right there, so you need a big bat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna end the show, but I do want to give a big shout out to the Houston Dynamo again for like making
Western Conference.
It comes down, and one of the big credit out to basically Arthur for the Dynamo, who's been just amazing at defense. He's been playing a lot of a lot of space over there, and it's been great. Pulido,
the whole team, the team as a whole, dude. It's not. I wouldn't say it's pretty football, but it's very.
They're winning.
They're winning. It's winning.
Winning.
It's winning.
They play as a team. Like they play as a whole unit. It's not there's no egos. They play for each other, man.
Even though there's some players that are playing like I would say above their numbers right now, but it's not just one star player like running the show like it is in some other teams. Like this team is built to win, and I cannot wait.
Exactly. One of the things that our friend Glenn Davis was saying also, Hector Herrera has been a big difference maker because, like you said, no ego. He passes the ball, looks around.
He really brought that midfield together.
It did. And when you sign a guy now keep in mind this has been one of the big signings for the Dynamo because this guy came from Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
To play for the Dynamo.
At 42 years old, but
whatever. Yeah. But still, like on paper, the way that it's seen is like, hey, you marketing wise too is like, hey, you have a guy that you signed from Atletico. It was all
over the billboards in Houston.
It was all over the billboards,
right? He plays for the Mexican national team. He's
playing for the Mexican
one of the captains.
Marketing, and look at this. The Dynamo Stadium was borderline empty times that we went.
Not borderline. It was empty.
It was empty.
It was us. It was us and the staff.
Yeah, us and the staff hanging out. But then look at it now. It is jam packed. It was jam packed. Yeah, it's crazy. I love seeing that with the Dynamo. They deserve it. I love the fact that they're making Houston look good as well. It is a great time to be a Houston sports fan. What's that?
Right.
With my
Rockets too.
Exactly. Texans are playing great. I mean. Without
they lost, but
all things considered, every team is moving forward.
Yeah,
every team is a playoff team. The Rockets, they're top 5 in the West. Top 5.
Knock on wood.
Yeah,
look at the numbers. Their defense efficiency. They're number 1 in defense in the league, and that defense is turning into offense. And they're like top 10 in offense. Like they're. I had said in the offseason, this is maybe a play-in team. Now, man, they're a legit playoff team.
You just gotta stay consistent. You just gotta stay consistent. They're still very young, but they still gotta get consistent.
So, quick question back to Dynamo. I know the answer is gonna be we don't need them, but because of where they are right now. So one of the people that is one of the free agents right now is Chicharito Hernandez. Okay. Next season, do you think the Dynamo?
We don't need him.
We don't need. See, well, let me finish at least. Would you take a shot at him if the money's right? Obviously, he can provide a striker, but he's a free agent and he
off
has
the bench maybe, and you don't pay him that much.
And he has camaraderie with Hector Herrera too.
You'll sell a lot of shirts. I'll tell you that.
It will. Marketing wise, it makes sense.
Marketing wise, but on the field, I think you could find somebody younger and they'll be more productive.
Like I mean, no disrespect, all-time Mexican top scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we know this. Like Hugo Sanchez, more out the way. It's Chicharito.
Both all that.
Whole time. But when's the last time he played?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So like, I don't think I would get him as a starter. And if he comes in as a free agent, he's gonna want starter money.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to happen. So I feel like the Dynamo have a good thing going right now. Let's not break it.
All right. Just at the.
I mean, they still need a true number 9, but you could find someone younger, cheaper, that'll be more of a team player and less ego.
Yeah.
That'll fit into their system they have right now.
Okay. Good point. All right, y'all. Well, that's going to be it for today. Stay tuned tomorrow, guys. Watch the boys at the AFC South Roundtable on the Let's Talk Sports Network. Representing the Just Fans podcast will be Rios and Poppy out there. Thank you guys again for joining us. That's going to be our show for the day. Anything else? That's it.
Fuck the Saints. That's it.
All right, cool. All right, Rios.
Oh, and Ala Madrid, number 1 on the table. Barcelona, number 4.
All right, y'all.
I can't hear you from the top. I can't hear you from the top, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh, but when I was saying that last year, you're like, oh, fucking.